Think mình nhớ.
Good evening, ma. Good evening. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma. Good evening. Let us wait for others to join. Today we have to start with metals and non-metals. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Have they taken metals and non-metals in your school?
Yes, ma'am. They completed.
They completed. Now you know that you have till page number till properties of ionic compounds in metals and non-metals. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
After that it is deleted, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Let us wait for some more time because there are others to join. 9, okay, 9 have come. Wait for 2 more minutes that others to join. Okay, ma. Let us start with good evening to all. Let us start with the third chapter. Did you go through the second chapter? Did you find any doubt or anything to be discussed? Did you go through the second chapter? Do you have any doubt to be discussed?
Doubts, ma'am.
Any, ma? Pardon, ma?
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts.
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, ma. So I can go ahead with metals and non-metals.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Metals and non-metals. That is, we have discovered around 118 elements so far. 118 elements are being discovered so far. Among the 118 elements, 92 are naturally occurring substances, elements. Naturally occurring elements are, if they are obtained from earth crust. From the earth, we separated that element and it has been discovered. The remaining 118 minus 92 means 9 minus 2, 6. Therefore, 2, 1. These are artificially prepared, artificially synthesized. How? Because due to chemical reaction, these elements has come one of the byproducts and they found out. These elements are artificially prepared, whereas these 92 are naturally occurring substances which found from earth crust. This 118 elements can, depending upon the properties, you can classify them as metals, non-metals, and metalloids. This 118 elements can be categorized only in these 3 categories: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Most of the elements of 118 are metals. Very less, around 20 elements are there non-metals. 7 are metalloids. 7 are metalloids. 20 non-metals are there. The remaining are all are metals. Most of the elements in the periodic table we have metals. To study the 118 elements in an easiest way, these elements have been arranged and given in a very short form, is called as periodic table. This 118 elements are arranged in a systematic manner in order to study the properties of the elements in an easier way is being arranged, called periodic table. Periodic table is nothing but arrangement of elements in a systematic manner in order to study the properties of elements in an easier way. That is the purpose the periodic table has been found. This 180 elements are given in a very handy way in periodic table. Now we are going to study about some of the characteristics of metals, non-metals, and metalloids. In what then, if I talk about metals, some of the examples of metals, if I ask you, what you will say? Start. Akash. Akash. Iron, yes, ma. Iron, yes.
Zinc, ma'am.
Zinc, yes. Iron,
Aluminium.
iron, zinc, aluminium, yes. Copper, yes.
Silver,
Padma? I'm not able to hear. Copper, Padma?
Silver.
Silver.
Silver, yes, silver. Gold. Platinum, yes.
Lead. Tin.
Lead. Tin, yes.
Potassium.
Sodium, the pair. Sodium is a pair, potassium.
Potassium.
Calcium is a pair, magnesium. Next step. Aluminum, you're told. Okay. Next step. Any other?
Lithium.
Lithium, yeah, lithium. Silver, gold, platinum, iron we were mostly using, zinc we are mostly using, silver, gold, platinum, yes sir, 10, okay. Most of the metals you are told, which we are using, chromium we use it. Pardon ma?
Uranium.
Uranium, yes, uranium.
Nichrome.
Nichrome. Nichrome is a ore ma, nickel is a metal, nichrome is a ore. We don't have a metal as nichrome. We don't have a metal name called nichrome. We don't have. So these are the metals, some of the metals. Non-metals, when I talk about non-metals, what do you say? Hydrogen,
Oxygen. Helium.
oxygen, helium. That I can say. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are called as noble gases. These are called as noble gases. Next, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Next, carbon, before nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen, hydrogen. These are some of the non-metals. Understand? These are some of the non-metals. How do we categorize these as non-metals? How do we categorize these as metals? How do we categorize depending upon their properties? That we are going to study in detail. There is one category called metalloids. What are metalloids? Metalloids are the elements which shows both of metallic property and non-metallic properties. Which shows both the properties that we call as metalloids. Example, there are 7 of them. Boron, silicon, arsenic. Gallium is a metal mark. Arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium, germanium. These 7 are metalloids. Gallium is a metal. It's called as polonium. Polonium is a radioactive metal, PO. Tellurium, Te. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, AR. Arsenic, AR is argon. Arsenic, antimony, SB, antimony, Te, tellurium, PO, polonium. These are metalloids. What are metalloids? Elements that shows both metallic property and non-metallic. Both property shows. We call them as metalloids. First, let us see what is metal, what properties it shows, in what way non-metals are different from metals. That we shall see. You divide your page into 3 columns. One column you write it as property. Next is metals. Next is non-metals. Some of the physical and chemical properties we shall study in detail. One is physical state. One is physical state. Metals are in what state? Physical state, metals all exist. All the metals exist in solid state. All metals exist in solid state. That you might have known. Except mercury. Except mercury. Non-metals, you have to write down, I won't write. Non-metals exist in all 3 states. Non-metals exist in all 3 states. Give example for solid state. Example.
Diamond.
Diamond you cannot say, you can say as carbon. Carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, iodine. All are iodine. These are solid state. Liquid, example of liquid non-metal, what I can say.
Bromine.
Bromine.
Bromine. B-R-O-M-I-N-E. Bromine. Gaseous state. You have more number of gases. Nitrogen, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, all are gases. So you have more number of gases to give as an example. All metals exist only in solid state. Whereas non-metals exist in all three states. Next, hardness. Hardness. If I talk about metals, you know iron, you know gold, you know platinum, chromium, you might be knowing. Most of our this one, latch is there, no latch. Latch means which latch I am talking about, that is door latch, which will hold to close the door. Latch is there, that is we call as latch. Where we use, in the latch only we will put the lock. But the one which is there in the door to close the door or knob we have. Nowadays in the apartment system we have knob type. So that when we put the knob, it gets closed. We have knob type. If you go to old houses, we can see that a latch will be there. That is there. But when the quality of the latch increases, you can see that some of the latches will get corroded very easily. Some of the latches they won't get corroded, it remains shiny. It because of the metal having chromium in it. Chromium and vanadium add strength to the metal and make it non-corrosive. It don't get allowed to get corroded. In most of this, which light gives like a shining, like silvery shining it will give. But it is not made up of silver. It is of chromium and a little amount of titanium is there. So most of the shining white color is because of chromium, which if you see that latch and all, it will be very hard, but it won't put corroded. So if you see that the strength that if you actually see most of the metals, it is hard. So only we are missing most of the metals. Whereas metals are hard, except sodium, potassium, yes, lithium also is soft only. They can be cut even with a knife. Like how you cut a cake, like this you can easily cut it with a knife. Sodium, potassium. Whereas non-metals are very soft. Non-metals are soft. They are not hard because all are solids. We are not all are solids. And they are obtained solid also, they are in the form of powder. They don't have a definite shape. They are in the form of a powder they exist. So non-metals are soft, except, any exceptions do you know?
Diamond.
Diamond, yes. Diamond is nothing but carbon. It's nothing but carbon in the form of diamond. Here I want to say something. Some elements have the ability to exist in more than one form. If I take off carbon, carbon can exist in different forms. What are the forms it can exist? It can exist as diamond. It can exist as graphite. It can exist as fullerenes. It can exist as coal. It can exist as coal, lamp black, coke, coal tar. These are nothing but different forms of carbon. All are carbon, but different forms of carbon. Then how do they differ? How do they differ? Why do they differ? They differ in the arrangement of particles. The arrangement of all, this is element I'm saying. All the atoms are nothing but carbon atoms only. All are carbon atoms. All you burn, if you burn everything in the presence of oxygen, all will give carbon dioxide only. Then how do they differ? Why here it is very hard Carbon only very hard. Here softer. Fullerenes is little bit hard. Cold here and there very soft. Then what makes the difference is the arrangement of particles. The arrangement of particles makes them to show, they make them to exist in different forms. The ability of the element to exist in more than one form, we call that as allotropy. The property of the element to make them to exist in more than one form, we call as allotropy. Property is allotropy. The different forms that exist, we call that as allotropes. This we call as allotropes of carbon. We call this as allotropes of carbon. And the property we call as allotropy. And we call this as allotropes of carbon. Only carbon shows allotropes. No, most of the non-metals shows allotropes. Phosphorus shows allotropes. We have phosphorus, white phosphorus, red phosphorus, black phosphorus we have. Sulfur, rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur we have. So some elements, only non-metals shows allotropy, whereas metals do not show allotropy. So what is allotropy? Ability of the element to exist in more than one form is called as allotropy. Why they show allotropy? Because of their arrangement of particles, arrangement of atoms. The arrangement of atoms give them different structures. So diamond is said to be the hardest non-metal. When I compare diamond with metal only stronger. Metal only stronger, not diamond is stronger. But among the non-metal, diamond is the hardest non-metal. You can cut a diamond only with the diamond. That much harder it is. Any hard substance can be cut or be broken with the help of diamond. Can be broken with the help of diamond. But diamond can be broken only with diamond. So that much harder it is. Why? Because the particles are arranged, carbon atoms are arranged in a regular pattern, fixed arrangement. So bonds are tightly arranged. They are not scattered. The atoms of carbon are not arranged in any form. They are arranged in a definite form. So bonds formed are very, very stronger. So only we say that diamond is the hardest non-metal. Is it harder than the metal? No, sorry. Next, when I talk about, the sodium, potassium, if I talk about, they can be cut even with a knife. That way it is. Next property is malleability. What is malleability? The ability of the metal to made into thin sheets. That is called malleability. The ability of the metal to made into thin sheets is called as malleability. Most of the metals are malleable. Most of the metals are malleable, except there are some metals which are not malleable are zinc and mercury. Zinc and mercury, they are not malleable. All metals are malleable. What is malleable? The ability of the metal to made into thin sheets is called as malleable. But there are some metals which cannot be malleable. I can say zinc and mercury, except zinc and mercury. Mercury is a liquid. Say zinc, the bond is not that much stronger. By the way you make it to thin sheets, it gets broken. So only we can't malleable. So except zinc and mercury, non-metals are not malleable. Non-metals are not malleable. Next property is called as ductility. Ductility. Next property is called as ductility. What is ductility? Ability of the metal to made into thin wires. Ability of the metal to made into thin wires is called as ductility. Very good example I can say gold. All gold, that gold we can see because of its ductile nature, we are making different designs out of gold. Gold, silver plays a very, these noble metals plays a vital role and they are account for their ductility nature. Here also, except here also zinc and mercury only will come. The metals which are not ductile are zinc and mercury. Non-metals are not ductile. Non-metals are not ductile. Non-metals are not ductile. Let us go for the next one. For example, you make a circuit. What you make a circuit? You make a circuit out. You take a battery, connect the battery to your bulb, connect the battery to your bulb, and you have two ends you have. And the battery is, you are taking a switch to make it as a protective one switch. Then you have a two ends. In the two ends, you connect a metal rod. Let it be made up of copper. I have not closed the switch because circuit is not closed. If I close the switch, I can see the bulb gets glowing. Why? If I use copper. If I use any metal rod over here, I can see the bulb glowing. But if I use copper, if I use carbon I don't need. Coal if I use, no glowing. If I use sulfur, no glowing. What does it tell? It tells you that metals are good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity. If they are good conductors of electricity, they are good conductors of heat too. Most of the metals, they are good conductor of heat and they are also good conductor of heat and electricity. Most of the metals are good conductors, so conductivity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Very good conductor of heat and electricity. The metal which has highest conduction of heat and electricity. Example I can give, silver. Silver is a very good conductor of heat and electricity. Next only comes copper. But silver is the best in conduction of heat and electricity. But silver is very costlier. We are using copper wires for making for electrical purposes. Electrical purpose we use copper, but even copper is also costly. The high tension wires are made up of iron. Why? Because it can withhold much heat compared to that of copper. So only we are using iron. If you see the high tension wires are made up of iron. But household purposes we use copper because it is very cheaper compared to the tough silver. Silver is very costly. Conductivity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Example I can say mercury. Mercury is the best conductor of heat. But exception is also there. There are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Example lead and mercury. Mercury is a poor conductor of heat and electricity. Lead also comes under. Tungsten also comes under. See, tungsten, you can see, we use tungsten in bulbs, electrical bulbs. Since it's not a good conductor of heat and electricity only, if high voltage current passes through the bulb, what the bulb will do? The bulb gets burnt away, the tungsten gets burnt away, gets melted, so that the circuit is being switched off. Melting point of tungsten is not that much high. You make it melt. Why? So that conduction of electricity can be avoided. So exception is lead, mercury, tungstens are the bad conductors of heat and electricity. When I talk about non-metals are not good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are not good conductors of heat and electricity, except graphite. Graphite is nothing but another form of carbon. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Again, diamond is also a form of carbon and graphite is also a form of carbon. But here the bonds are that is each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms in a perfect way. So there is no free electrons. But graphite conducts electricity because of presence of free electrons. There is a free electron is there, makes the graphite to conduct electricity. So the only non-metal which conducts electricity is graphite, which cannot write carbon. Carbon in the form of graphite you have to mention. If you write carbon, we won't give one. Similarly, hardest non-metal, diamond, carbon in the form of diamond you can write. They have to use the word diamond. If you just write carbon, we won't give one. Next, one more property is there. Next is lustrous. Lustre means shining. All metals have shining appearance. All metals are lustrous. Why they are lustrous? Because of the presence of free electron. Because of the presence of free electron, what they do, you might have studied in your 9th standard. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus. And each electron has some definite energy. Each one has a place in the atom. Each electron has a place in its atom. If that is, they are in continuous motion, they have some energy. But when light falls on, when it shows shining, when the light falls on it, when the light is nothing but a form of energy. When the light falls on the metal, the electrons absorb this energy. When you get more energy, will you be in the same place? No, you go to some other place. Similarly, electrons, instead of its own place, it goes to higher level. This, wherever the electron goes, they are nothing but a guest house. It's like a guest house or guest going to neighbor's house or a relative's house. It is not the permanent. You have to come back to your house. When you come back to higher energy level to a lower level, you give out this energy. That energy which is given out is seen as a shining to us. When they give out, the energy depends upon the energy, we observe the color. Most of the metal shows the color of gray in color, silvery gray, copper brown, sodium yellow, light yellow, whereas gold is bright yellow. These are the different colors it shows. Why? Because of the difference in the energy of light given out by the metal. Why they show? Because that is depends upon the energy they absorb. Why they absorb different energy depends upon the nature of the element. All the same teacher is teaching class. All are getting the same mark. All are observing the same way. All are understanding the same way. No, there is a difference. It depends upon the nature of the person. Likewise, even though all are being given same light, depending upon the nature of the particle, they absorb the light as per the requirements. So they get exactly to, they go to the higher energy level. This higher energy level where they go is not the actual one. They can preside it for only for time being. They have to come back to their original house. When they come back to their original place, in the meantime, because if I want to come back to my original place means I have to have only that energy. But I am having now more energy, then I cannot go to my place. So if I have to go to my place means I have to give out the excess energy. So this excess energy is given in the form of light. That only we see as a shining appearance. Most of the metals shows gray appearance, silvery gray appearance it shows. But some of the metals, the shining goes off because of the exposure to atmosphere. They get corroded, so the shining appearance goes off. When you rub it with salt paper, then you can see back the shining appearance. All metals have some shining appearance, as mostly silvery gray. It will be gray, silvery gray or gray. And some of the metals which show of different colors are copper, brown, sodium yellow, gold yellow. So metals are lustrous. All metals are lustrous. whereas non-metals are not lustrous. Non-metals are not lustrous, except graphite and iodine. Except graphite and iodine. All metals are lustrous. Example I told. Non-metals are not lustrous, except graphite and diamond. They are lustrous. But you cannot write diamond over here. Do you know why? You cannot write diamond as an exception of, that is lustrous non-metal diamond. You cannot write. Why?
Ma'am, because diamond does not possess any lustrous, ma'am.
Hey, diamond is very costly because of its luster, ma.
Ma'am, diamond when obtained is black in color.
Not black in color.
It
It's
is-
like a, no. Diamond when it is oxide.
It has dust particles on it.
Okay. Diamond occurs is shining only on cutting. Only on cutting. The way it is being cut down. The way it is cut down, it has total internal reflection. Because of total internal, that is depending upon the, like a prism, reflection takes place, the shining appearance. Similarly, the metals that is stone is cut in different ways, so that all the light which is falls on is being reflected. Multiple reflection takes place and falls into it, and when it comes back, it gives a good shining appearance. So diamond is shining because of the cutting it has been done. Diamond on its own is not lustrous. We make it to shine it. So you cannot write over here. So non-metals which are lustrous on its own are iodine and graphite. Next property is sonorosity. Next property is called as sonorosity. I'm rubbing out. Next property is sonorosity, seventh one. Sonorosity. Sonorosity is nothing but when you strike the metal against it, you hear the smell. You hear the sound. Sorry. When you strike the metal against it, you hear the sound. That is called as sonorous. So most of the metals are sonorous, because when you strike any metal against it, you can hear the sound. Most of the churches, you might have seen churches, temples, we have the bells made up of metal. Why? It sounds a lot. When you strike it, it sounds a lot. That only we say that metals are sonorous. Non-metals are not sonorous. Non-metals are not sonorous. These are some of the physical properties of metals and non-metals. How many properties we have studied? 7. Oh, these are the 7 physical properties, which is, there are many properties are there. These are the 7 properties which are being discussed in your textbook, which distinguish between metals and non-metals. These are the ways, because metal shows this character, non-metal shows this character. From by that we distinguish the metal and the non-metal. And we have some exceptions too. Shall we recall the exceptions? Clear? Is there any doubt you have?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Shall we pass on? One more thing I can say, they have not mentioned it because metals have high density. Density means weight. Metals have high density. Example, I can say mercury. Metals have high density. Example, mercury also I can say. A small bottle mercury, if you hold it in hand, it weighs much weight. Metals are highly denser. Non-metals are lighter, not much denser. Metals have high melting point. Then one more thing, density I can add. Metals have high density, except example I can say mercury. Even though it is in liquid state, density is very, very high. Non-metals are not denser. Next, melting point and boiling point. I can say mostly melting point I can talk because all are mostly in solids. But melting and boiling point we talk about here. the gases are there. How you find out the boiling point is anything. You liquefy it and find out the boiling point. That's the meaning. Melting point, boiling point, if you see that metals have high melting point. The metal bond is very, very stronger. They have high melting point. Except gallium and cesium. Except gallium and cesium. Gallium cesium melting point is very, very low. If you keep in the pot, the metal gets melted easily. Gallium and cesium. Non-metals have low melting point except diamond. Non-metals have low melting point except diamond. That's all regarding physical properties. How many physical properties we have done? 9 physical properties. Shall we recall the physical properties? Then we shall go for the chemical properties. Shall we do as a quick recap? Shall we do?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? Okay. Now, because the question will be asked in different forms also. So only let us go do a recap. Then we shall go for chemical properties. Or chemical properties distinguish between metals and non-metals. Now, I will go by. I'll go with okay. Yes, name I will not be able to. I am not able to see the names. Pujita, you are not able to hear me. Why? Everyone is able to hear. Why you are not able to? Ma, if you are not able to hear me, it's because of your side, ma. Internet connection. Check out the internet connection of yours. Niranjan, mic is not working. Okay. Okay, Sandhya, tell me, ma. Sandhya, first physical state. What is the first physical state?
Ma'am, the physical state of metals is solid, ma'am.
Pujita, yes, ma. Pujita, you join again. Yes, Sandhya, tell me, ma. Metals, first property. What is the first property we discussed?
Physical state.
Physical state. What do you write for metals?
Ma'am, in metals, all metals are solid in state, ma'am.
All metals exist in solid state.
Except mercury. And all non-metals exist in all 3 states, ma'am.
Okay.
In solid state, we have
carbon, sulfur, phosphorus can be written as an example.
And in liquid non-metals, we have bromine. And in gaseous non-metals, we have oxygen, nitrogen, etc.
Okay. You were Sandhya. Amrita.
Yes,
unmute yourself, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Liquid non-metal.
Bromine.
Liquid metal.
Mercury.
Liquid metal, mercury, liquid non-metal. Okay. Next, tell the next property. What is the next property?
Hardness, ma'am.
Hardness. Tell me.
Metals are hard. Metals are hard except for sodium, potassium, and lithium. Non-metals are very soft except
for
for
potassium are not hard. They can be cut even with a
knife.
Yeah, that's the main specialty. Lithium, sodium, and potassium. Whereas non-metals are.
Okay, ma'am.
Non-metals
are very soft,
yes.
except for diamond.
Except diamond, yes. Who told the answer? Ma, I forgot. Who told the answer right now?
Ma'am, Amrita told.
Amrita told. Amsini, yes. Okay. Amrita
yes,
told.
Ma'am.
Yes. Amsini.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, metals that can be cut with a knife.
Sodium, potassium, and lithium.
Hardest non-metal.
Diamond.
Next property.
Next property is malleability.
What is malleability?
Ma'am, malleability means the metals can be beaten into thin sheets.
Metal can be made. The property is not that. What is malleability? It's a property. It's a property that
in which the metals are beaten into thin sheets.
in which கிடையாது.
Okay.
It's a property. It's a property which explains that the metal can be made into
Thin sheets. Yes, ma'am.
it's a property.
Okay, ma'am.
Next step. What are the examples for metals that you can? Example for all metals can be made into
All
thin sheets.
gold is the very malleable metal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Except for zinc and mercury, other metals can be drawn into thin
Thin
sheets.
sheets and okay.
And for non-metals are non-malleable.
Non-malleable. Next step. If we whatever ductility, what is maybe ductility?
I should itself say, ma'am.
Yeah, repeat it. Malleable and ductile are almost the same only. What is maybe
Okay,
ductility?
Ma'am, ductility is the process.
It's not the process, it's a property.
Okay, ma'am. Ductility is the property where the metal can be drawn into thin wires.
Yeah.
So, in this also, gold is the most ductile metal.
Yeah.
And for exceptional case is zinc and mercury.
Yes.
Non-metals are non-ductile.
Non-ductile, but in your book it is not given. Now this book was printed 10 years back, almost 10 to 15 years, I think so. It's 15 years. After that, the syllabus have not been changed. So at that time, there were non-metals, ductile is not there. There is no wires. Now we have carbon fibers are there, which is now used in nanotechnology. Now they have found out. If I see about the edition of this book is 2006. Yes, my book is 2006. Last printed is 2006. After 2006, they have not changed this book. For 15 years, NCERT has not changed the book. The same syllabus they have not upgraded. But now I can say that is carbon fibers are there. So non-metals are not malleable and ductile as per your book. But now exception is
Carbon fibers.
Now we are using the carbon fibers in nanotechnology. Fiber means what? Thin wires, no? Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That is that. Okay, next property, Niranjan. Next property, Niranjan.
Ma'am, he only told ma'am his mic.
His mic is not working. Amrita completed, no? Sandhya, Amrita is Akash.
Next property is conductivity.
What is conductivity? What is maybe conductivity? When we talk about conductivity, we talk about conductivity in terms of heat and electricity. Yeah. Tell me.
In metals, silver is the best conductor of electricity.
First tell the property, ma. First tell the property. Then you can say the exceptions. First tell the property. Conductivity. What do you tell about metals?
Metals are all metals are good best conductor of electricity.
Best you should not say.
Good conductor of heat and electricity, ma'am. Silver is best conductor of electricity, followed by copper. And then
exceptions. There
no,
are some metals which are not good conductors of heat and electricity. What are they?
Tungsten, lead and mercury.
Lead, mercury and tungsten are not good conductors of heat and electricity. Whereas non-metals are.
Non-metals don't conduct heat and electricity, ma'am, except graphite.
Yes, good. Next, any other property leftover conductivity? Next, luxurious. Metals are luxurious, non-metals are non-luxurious, except iodine and graphite. We say that. Okay, Ovia, is your mic ready? Are you able to? Ovia, next property, ma.
Ma'am,
Luxurious we are completed. Other than luxurious?
Sonority, ma'am.
Sonority, metals are sonorous, non-metals are not sonorous. We don't have any exceptions over there. Next is density.
Density, metals have high density. Example, mercury, and non-metals are denser.
Non-metals are not denser. Next is density, melting point and boiling point.
Metals have high melting and boiling points. except gallium and caesium.
Gallium and cesium. Cesium spelling. C-A-E-S-I-U-M. Cesium.
Okay, ma'am.
A is silent. Cesium. A is silent. Cesium.
Cesium and non-metals have low melting and boiling points except diamond.
That's all regarding the physical properties. The
Ma'am,
question will be-
carbon also no, ma'am, for
Carbon, you
non-metal.
cannot write non-metal, you cannot say carbon. If I say coal melting point is very less. In that
Okay.
carbon in the form of diamond only has high melting point.
Okay. Ma'am, or else can we write like allotropes of carbon is
I know
diamond?
all allotropes of carbon. Allotrope, why you want to beat about the bush? Just write diamond, that's enough. But
Okay,
you
okay.
cannot write carbon. If I
Okay,
say
ma'am.
carbon, what carbon you are talking about? Because now only I told, all carbon exists in different allotropes form.
Allotrope.
All are not the same property.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So be specific.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. I will ask you the question. You people take the chance and unmute yourself and unmute Pujita. Now are you able to hear me? Pujita,
Yes, ma'am.
are you there? Are you able to hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Okay. Now I will ask you the questions. One, you people take the chance and answer them. Not all at a time. Then it will be a miss. Metals having low melting point.
Cesium and gallium.
Cesium and gallium. Okay. Metals that can be cut with a knife.
Sodium.
Potassium, lithium.
Okay, sodium, potassium. Metals of low conductors of heat and electricity.
Tungsten.
Tungsten, lead,
Lead and tungsten, lead and mercury.
Okay, sure. Non-metals of good conductors of heat and electricity.
Graphite.
Non-metals lustrous.
Iodine and graphite.
Iodine, graphite, diamond.
A diamond should not come. Diamond should not come. Diamond is not lustrous on its own. By cutting metals, the diamond becomes lustrous. So you cannot write off that. So these are the ways the question may be asked. There is a question that is given in your textbook. Give an example of a metal which is a liquid at room temperature.
Mercury.
Metal liquid at room temperature. Non-metal at liquid in room temperature.
Bromine.
Can be easily cut with a knife.
Sodium, potassium,
Potassium,
lithium.
lithium.
Is the best conductor of heat?
Silver.
Silver,
Gold.
silver, copper. Yes. Poor conductor of heat?
Lead.
Lead, tungsten,
Lead, mercury, tungsten.
Explain the meaning of malleable ductile that you know. Everything we have discussed. Iodine is a non-metal. We have good told everything. Gallium metals are iodine, gallium, cesium, everything. Shall I pass on to the next part?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear metals next. This is we are classifying this as metals and non-metals based on their physical property. Now we are going to study in terms of chemical properties. Chemical properties. Next, first is reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. Metals reacts with oxygen.
Ma'am, the camera is tilted.
Reaction with oxygen. Metals reacts with oxygen to form metal oxide. This is the general formula. Metals reacts with oxygen to form metal oxide. But the reactivity of metals, all metals with oxygen is not the same. Now, all metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. But the reactivity of metals with oxygen is not the same. Why? All metals are of not same type. They are of different nature. So the reactivity of metals with oxygen also varies. How do they vary? That we are going to study. When we talk about these properties, there are many metals. There are many metals we have seen. Then how to study? You take it up. For example, you study separately sodium, potassium. Next, calcium, magnesium. This because they are of one category. Next, aluminium. Third, fourth, like think of your reactivity series. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper. Lead also is not given in your book. Copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. This category only you have to study. Because what are the metals that has come in the reactivity series you study? That's enough. How do they react? Understand? First, let us see for this. These metals burns violently with oxygen. They are not reactive. Burns. These metals burns violently on exposure to oxygen to form metal oxide. Sodium and potassium burns violently with oxygen to form corresponding oxide. Since they burns violently with oxygen, they are always kept in kerosene. They are always kept in kerosene. How do they react? Sodium plus oxygen gives sodium oxide. Sodium valency charge is 1. This is -2 viscous, so the formula is Na2O. So oxygen Na is 2, so I put 2. Oxygen 2, 1. So to satisfy that, I put 2. When I put 2, sodium becomes 4, so I put 4. Potassium also forms. Potassium, because why I am writing is this also charges 1, this also charges 1. Here +2, here also +2. It is +3. Here all are 2 only. Zinc, iron, copper 2. Mercury, silver, gold, platinum, they are comes under noble metals. So they do not react. So you need not worry about it. If you categorize like this way, it is easy for you to write down the formula too. So that accordingly you can write down the chemical equation. Say K2, here also you get K2O. Balance the other way. 4K plus 4,2. That's all. Sodium and potassium burns violently in oxygen. So only they are kept under kerosene. They are kept in kerosene. Shall I pass on? Next is calcium.
Yes, ma'am.
Calcium reacts. I didn't say burn. I said react. Calcium reacts to form calcium oxide. But reactivity is very fast. It reacts very fastly to react with oxygen to form calcium oxide. Similarly, magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. Balance. This you can easily see. Magnesium in your laboratory, new magnesium ribbon if you buy this week, it will be silvery white. How is your anklet silver? Likewise, it will be silvery white. But after a week, if it is exposed to you keep it open and come on next week and see, it will be totally covered with white color. Some corrosive material will be covering on it. That much it is easily exposed to oxygen in the atmosphere to form magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is formed on its cover itself. Yeah, so only we can see that magnesium ribbon when you remove it with the salt paper, it will be like silvery white. But on exposure to oxygen, it immediately turns into magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide, the color will be entirely magnesium oxide is white in color. You can see a gray deposit of around that. That silvery white you cannot see. That is the way it gets formed. It reacts violently. Next step. Third, shall I go for the third one? What is the third category? Aluminium. Aluminium reacts with oxygen. But it's not that much very fast. So only I didn't say anything. It reacts like that. Means moderately it reacts to form aluminium oxide. Aluminium 3 charge, oxygen 2 crisscross. So the formula is Al2O3. So to balance it, I put 3. So 2. So clear? So third category is over. Zinc, iron, copper, anything. Zinc. That also reacts with oxygen, but reaction is very, very slow. 2. Then iron copper. Copper reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. It is black in color. It is white in color. These metals are noble metals. They do not react with oxygen. This is the thing you understand. First, sodium, potassium, one category, calcium, magnesium, another category. Third, aluminum, zinc, lead, and copper, another category. Next category. This is the way you have to study for metals. Metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. All metals do not react in the same way. The reactivity of metals with oxygen is not the same. For example, sodium, potassium burns violently with oxygen to form the corresponding oxides. So only the sodium and potassium are always kept in kerosene. Calcium, magnesium reacts faster with oxygen to form the corresponding oxides. Aluminium reacts, means it is not very fast, reacts. You can see aluminium vessel. Aluminium vessel, now we are not using aluminium vessel. Earlier people were using aluminium vessel. It is even, you believe aluminium, even you take your Indium, your cooker. Yeah, cooker is, I'm talking of cooker. Now present cooker has come in black in color. I'm not talking about that black cooker, that white color cooker. White color cooker is nothing but it's made up of indium. Indium is nothing but it's an alloy of aluminum. So it has aluminum content. You can see that when you wash it with vim powder, it shines. But if you keep it aside for many days and you are not touching it, you can see that the outer surface becomes dull. Why? It reacts with oxygen in the atmosphere and converted to, while you rub it, you can see something is going on. That is the outer cover goes off and shining comes. But reactivity is very, very slow. So only we are not seeing much loss in weight of that metal after using for a longer period of time too. But reactivity is very, very less. They react to form the corresponding oxide. Zinc reacts with oxygen to form the corresponding oxide. This is black in color that you have already studied in the first chapter. Copper oxide is black in color. These metals are noble metals. These metals are noble metals. They do not react with oxygen. Clear? Now, these metallic oxides are said to be basic in nature. So I can say metal reacts with oxygen to form metallic oxides, and these metallic oxides are said to be basic in nature. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. How am I to prove it? I said sodium oxide plus water, it is base. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Next, potassium oxide plus water gives potassium hydroxide, the same way. So I can say metallic oxides, metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. And there also exception is there, except in your book it is given zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. But there are many metallic oxides are amphoteric in nature. These metal oxides, for example, you need not study this, but your book doesn't deal with, but you can learn that. Tin oxide, lead oxide, SnO2, PbO2. These are some of the oxides which are amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature, but some metal, except I told, zinc oxide and aluminum oxide, in your book only those two are given. But there are some metallic oxides will also come under exception. Even beryllium oxide also comes under exceptions. They are amphoteric in nature. What is meant by amphoteric? The oxides which shows both acidic nature and basic nature are called as amphoteric. The oxides which show both acidic nature and basic nature are called as amphoteric. We shall prove that zinc oxide and aluminum oxides are amphoteric in nature. How? Just 5 minutes. Let me wait for 5 minutes. I will complete it. Yes, zinc oxide is amphoteric. Zinc oxide is amphoteric means how am I to prove? To make them to react with acid and base. because they show acid character and basic character. If it's showing an acid character means it has to react with the base. If it's showing a basic character means then it has to react with an acid. Basic character means base reacts with an acid to form salt and water. If it behaves an acid, it reacts with a base to form salt and water. Sodium zincate plus water. Balance it. That's all. Zinc oxide, Na2Zn1, 2. That's all. Oxygen 2. That's all. This is similarly aluminium oxide plus HCl gives AlCl3 plus H2O. Al2O3 2. So 3 2s are 6 6. So 3 H2O. Al2O3 plus NaOH gives sodium aluminate that we have already studied formula. Sodium aluminate NaAlO2. Sodium zincate is Na2ZnO2. Sodium aluminate is NaAl2O2 plus water because it's behaving acidic form. Acid reacts with the base to form salt and water. Balance it. 2Al. So I put 2 here. When I put 2 here, sodium becomes 2. Then check with oxygen. 3 plus 2, 5. 2 2s are 4 plus 1, 5. Balance here. Hydrogen 2. Hydrogen 2 balanced. This is a proof that these oxides are amphoteric in nature. What is amphoteric oxides? Oxides which are shows both acid nature and basic nature we call as an amphoteric oxide. How am I proved? By making them to react with an acid and a base. Sodium zincate already we have studied in acid bases and salts. This is sodium zincate, sodium aluminate. The other things we shall do it in the next class. Clear? Any doubt regarding this? Any doubt? No.
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubt. Clear. How to study the thing? Reactivity of metals. That is, you have to study that metals react with oxide to form metallic oxide. How many metals are there? But you study what are the metals in the reactivity series. How do they react? That you study is enough. And we have found out that metal react with oxide to form metallic oxide, and they are found to be basic in nature. All are basic in nature? No. Yes, there are some metallic oxides which are not basic. They are zinc oxide, aluminum oxide, beryllium oxide. What do they show? They are amphoteric in nature. What is amphoteric oxides? Oxides which shows both acidic nature and basic nature. How am I to prove that? Making them to react with an acid and base, I am proving that they are amphoteric in nature. Shall I pass on?
Ma'am,
The other things we shall discuss in the next class on Sunday. Mostly Sunday, I will inform Raghav sir. Most probably it is okay if it is 4 o'clock in the evening. Students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have some other class, I will inform Raghav sir so that they will make an arrangement. Most probably we shall have it at 4 o'clock. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
4 o'clock on Sunday, 4 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, go through that. If you have any doubt, we shall put it on discussion on Sunday. Okay, ma. Okay, thank you. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma. Remaining things we shall discuss on
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Okay, ma. Sure,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
ma'am,
Yes, ma.
does amphoteric oxide produce salt and water?
Amphoteric, yes, it is an oxide form, no? It's an oxide, so react with an acid to form salt and water. It's nothing but equivalent to neutralization reaction.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Because here, if it is an acid means here metallic oxide is acting as a base. If it is a base means, if it is reacting with the base means it is acting as an acid.
Okay, ma'am.
Since it shows both the character, it is called as an amphoteric oxide.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Shall I wind up?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank you. Be
Thank you,
safe,
ma'am.
take care. Be safe, take care. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.